Guys, as you're finishing up your legacy, you don't want me to say this stuff, but don't say our generation what it's done. It's what you as individuals are still doing in your lifestyles, in even him is conversations of business as usual. Nobody's talking about what the Anthropocene means, which is too many of us without an ecocentric worldview. And he's talking like he's never heard of his wife before and what she talks about. So he needs to kind of start encouraging her to be the speaker instead of him more. But all these old guys here feel so good about themselves. And this is the saddest part right here, because you can see that the data suggests that we cannot, as a species, solve our own problems. And it's what they consider the intelligence we have that actually led us to these issues. And again, it's related to the flaws in our thinking. And these guys demonstrate this at every freaking chance they get, except they don't know it. And they are still the best we have, but they are still culture breakers, biosphere destroyers.
Say that for me, I have the anachronistic view that actual human intelligence is enough. It's brought us the technologies that we need. At the moment, AI, at least in this country, is turning out to be the greatest new energy sucking technology that there ever was. And people are quickly building gas-fired power plants in order to keep it up and running. I'm not a Luddite, as you can tell, because I like some of the technologies that we've come up with. But I do think that plain old human intelligence is enough to let us confront the trouble that humans have stumbled into.
Now, that is one of the biggest signs of evidence that somebody that is disconnected from the human condition, no matter how much he deserves the awards that he gets, because his work has been great. I don't disagree with anything he's doing. But again, without having the right conversations at the forefront of saying, we're doing this too, this too, this too, that helps. But by avoiding, and even Greta's avoiding talking about population, but avoiding the right conversations. Like, he believes that somehow we have intelligence as a species, and somehow he also understands that we're accelerating the Anthropocene. So that type of cognitive dissonance is, he's still one of the best we have. And that's sad. Now, they would be so afraid to invite me. But the thing is that's not what I'd want to say. If they invite me, they start showing signs of what they consider to be this intelligence. But it's not going to happen because of cognitive dissonance.
Well, thank you very much, Bill, from all of us.
Wow. Well, we thank you so much, Bill, for joining us today. And of course, we thank Peter and Paul that you could be here to talk with Bill. And, we thank you, our audience, for joining us here today. And if you learned something from this video, please consider liking the video. And if you haven't done so already, subscribing.
I have never done this on my YouTube channel, domesticating people to do this, especially for the sake of elitism, popularity, selling ads. So Paul, that you saw here, has never and will not answer my last question that I say, hey, what do you recommend as a way to get to Hawaii for a vacation that is well deserved for me? And really it is. And it's a trick question, because then I would say, do you know your first two ads? And I think there was like 8 ads that ran on his last video. The first 2 were about flying, right? You got to fly to go to the Hawaii or the Dominican Republic. The first video was about Hawaii. That's why I asked that. Now, does he know this? Unlikely. But this is cognitive dissonance. This is him feeding the people they're criticizing. And can't even respond to me because I'm not a well-known click club member. So again, now his wife that I sent, that sent me my second academic letter of reference for a PhD, and I just sent a whole bunch of applications for UBC. okay, to do a PhD. And really what I do is just show the devolution of our species. And it wouldn't be hard. I mean, one idea I'd have is I would find a group of committed people and even have to get them to sign a contract. It could be like teenagers and their families sign in, and this is a multi-year PhD project. And I don't mind if I go longer, but I say I need full scholarship because I'm a minimalist. I role model solutions. I'm not like these guys. So I can't afford a PhD. I need one of these guys or somebody at UBC to say, this guy is going to do some work. And after interacting with him or reading his work, we know he's capable of it and we need it. And he's willing to take on the unpopular social scientist role. And will UBC be smart enough or even respond or even notice my emails? Okay, so I would get all these group and then I would do, like, let's say an MRI series with them at the beginning. And then what I do for a couple of years is teach them life skills, critical thinking, some systems thinking, get them to kind of really, and then of course incorporate the practical aspect. Hey, you've learned this. What do you want to do in your homework with this project? And, I could arrange with that university that they get credits, whatever, for doing this. And I could get people at any age, because really nobody at any age has life skills as defined, for example, by the way I took my training, the Saskatchewan New Start model. So this would be at least bringing awareness. Hey, we are devolving. We are not using the high levels of our brain like even our ancestors could. How do we explain this? Okay, Martin's had a theory about this for years. And then we'll stop with this human freaking chauvinism that actually helps speed up the Anthropocene. Come on, people.